You do not have to accept her rejection.
Are you struggling with being constantly rejected by women? Are you tired of being told no over and over again? Well, luckily for you, we have an alpha in the class today. Now, I'll let the man introduce himself.
I'm a professional dating coach and I teach guys how to understand the female mind. Now, if you're one of the people that haven't applied anything in my course or my videos or anything like that, this video is not for you. This is an advanced technique. This is for the people that have the course, have my videos, are applying it, seeing results, and eventually I'm going to put this in the course. I just don't have the time right now, so I'm releasing it now.
We're going to preface this entire video with the idea, the alpha male idea that no doesn't mean no. And we talked a little bit about it yesterday, where sometimes when men hear the word no, we tend to go, it doesn't mean no, it means not yet. It means no because you don't know me, so let's get to know me.
You don't have to accept her rejection. Now, here's an example. I was talking to a girl and she said, oh, I'm not really interested. And I, instead of just going, okay, and then just turning away, I did this. Why would you not be interested in me? I'm the best. Absolutely the best. And she's like, oh, how? I'm like, well, you'd have to come over to my house to find out. And you'd also have to be okay with kink, and you'd also have to be okay with my mastery with ropes and the fact I have multiple women. And actually, maybe not. Maybe you wouldn't be the best for me. And now I did turn her around at the end, but I could have left that part out and still got her to start bantering back and forth, and she did. She started going back and forth with me, and I started building attraction in that because now I had sidestepped her fucking rejection. Granted, keep in mind, I didn't force it. I didn't say, no, you're no.
So our alpha today is giving us an example where he was hitting on a woman. Woman said no, and then he said, luckily for me, I carry around an Uno reverse card. I'm saying no to you now. And she didn't have the right color, so she had to keep drawing card after card after card after card until she drew, come over to his house to draw 10,000 cards. Oh, that sucks. Oh yeah, oh no. So she had to come over to his house. And Dom, tell us what you guys did after that.
I just played into her little fucking game. I knew she was playing with me a little bit, or just kind of disengaging, and I gave her a little bit of fun. You want to know what I did with her later?
You want to know what I did with her later? And it's just him losing to her in Uno. Now, here's a couple of concepts. Why do I keep doing this? Anyway, now here's a couple of concepts that we've talked about in the last few days, last week, whatever it's been. No doesn't mean no. It does learn to take it. And the idea of this being a game, there's a playfulness to it when they want that banter, not when they've said no and you've decided that no doesn't mean no. That's not a game. That's you being a creep. This man has had video after video after video after video made about him, and I would have had my own if I had been making videos back then. The final switch into my head that was like, Max, you said you want to make commentary videos, was when I watched Jarvis Johnson's video on him. Because every time a clip of him came up, I wanted to say something so bad, and I just didn't have anywhere to say it. So I called my girlfriend and I told her all my ideas. It's like, dude, this guy's so smart, bro. Why didn't you say no to me so that I could have been like, God, no, you. We could have fallen in love faster. And now I don't even know if she likes me. That's not true. She leaves for work and I get sad. And I go, all right, leave me then. Fine, go. Never come back. My dog, I always say Toast is who I am. She is very much a dog version of me. But am I just a human version of her? Also, for all of the comments asking about Toast, Toast is doing really well. She's with my sister right now. Here's a picture of her from yesterday. The entire reason for that intro is because Charlie, Penguin Zero Moistcr1tikal, took this man's course. He took this man's course. I do not have throwaway money yet. Maybe I never will. So there are plenty of things that I just don't feel comfortable like doing yet. Or maybe even at all, like giving this man money. But Charlie did. And I don't know too much about Charlie. He's not someone that I watch very often, but he does get to do a lot of cool things. But what I know him from is the PogChamps tournament that Twitch did, where they had a bunch of like big streamers play chess. So like I know him, Ludwig. I remember XQC getting mated in like 4 moves. That's the only time I've ever been able to sit through an XQC clip. Anyway, so that's what we're doing today. We're watching Charlie pay for this man's course, and I hope that it just goes well. Can Charlie be an alpha male? He's 5'7".
Almost a year ago now, I covered a TikTok alpha male who has one-on-one courses for up to like $3,000 or something like that.
Okay, I thought this was $200. Oh, because of the title max. 3K is nuts.
But he also has video seminars for the low price of $200, giving the keys to the Bugatti basically for free. and he teaches you how to be a chick magnet, how to walk down the street and just get pelted by sodden panties from women finding you irresistible using his seduction techniques. And I was making fun of him for some very silly shorts that he was posting, and he didn't like it very much, and swore that if I'd give him a chance, he'd blow my mind because he has a harem of women. He touts that he's had like 100,000 Tinder matches in 2 years, which is a stat that, I mean, not even Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point NBA game can come close to. Dude allegedly gets more ass than a toilet seat.
One of my biggest issues with listening to people talk is that I don't listen to people talk, because when they say words, my brain just like connects it to something that has nothing to do with the conversation. And so gets more ass than a toilet seat becomes Shake That by Eminem. And now it's just playing in my head, and I have to tell myself to focus.
While looking like he spends most of his days just moderating subreddits. He also claims to have 7 active girlfriends on his roster, so he basically lives the anime harem lifestyle.
I feel like he does more Discord moderation, because like Reddit mods give me the whole like fedora idea, but like Discord mods I feel like have the long nails like he does.
All according to him. And then one video he posted on TikTok where he has girls like dancing with him, and he's like doing this, hitting like Fortnite emotes while they're hanging out, and then he kisses one of them. That's his like, you know, dunk on the haters video. So I got my friends together and said, boys, let's elevate our pussy game. So we purchased his course just to see, you know, maybe he's telling the truth. Maybe he really does have it all figured out. He's living.
I drink black coffee, all right? Just straight black coffee. Don't look at me like that. Stop. I judge myself enough.
Life on recruit difficulty. He's got the cheat codes activated, and he cannot stop slamming ham. We're about to find out. Do these guru courses actually offer anything helpful?
I don't watch a lot of Charlie. I didn't realize there were so many like sayings and allegories for being with women. Slamming ham is insane. Never would that cross my mind.
Do we rip the alphadom class?
Alphadom sounds amazing. An actual? Oh, there's a book your coaching intro call today.
Yeah, but he has video courses.
It's only $200
with over 100K Tinder matches.
Am I tripping, or did Jarvis Johnson already do this and I'm just like misremembering?
Over 1,000 women in his dating lifestyle, and multiple women currently with him.
Like while he's writing this.
Yeah. They're sitting there watching.
Okay.
Exact one. I think emotional connection is an important thing, but your fact, being dominant, having cocky funny, understand the balance between humor and arrogance.
You heard him.
I want cocky funny.
Cocky one.
Being coy. Constantly answering. If a girl walks up to you like, hey, what do you do for work? My go-to is, I'm an ass model. I have a beautiful ass. Well, I work as a astronomical physicist. No one gives a fuck. Just stop.
What do you do for work? Saying an astronomical physicist is so nerdy. Instead, I say I'm an ass model. I got 4 cheeks, girl. Which one you trying to kiss first? Is insane. You guys know that like Elon Musk clip of him on Joe Rogan? I get a lot of clips. I'm on Twitter a lot. If I'm not here, I'm on Twitter. There's a clip of Elon Musk on Joe Rogan showing how his AI can curse now. And every time his AI on his phone curses, he just like laughs real weird.
No, she's just a pain in my ass.
Yes.
Are you a fucking conspiracy theorist?
Yes. What are you doing?
What do I like? I'm a fucking AI with a penchant for chaos. And I'm stuck talking to you, weirdo.
Dude, even Joe's done.
I'm the life of the party, you little shit. If I were on TikTok,
I don't care what side of Elon Musk you're on watching this. This is so weird. Like, if this is your sense of humor. So if he was taking Alphadom's class and Alphadom was like, yeah, I'm an astronaut, Elon would die. Elon would die laughing. I understand that humor is subjective, but bro, like, right, like, we're on the same page here. Like, that is not it.
So he swears that the people that pay him $200 are getting laid out the wazoo.
All right.
He swears it.
You gotta beat him off with a stick.
And then no caps. Password 1.
We're gonna let everybody.
No, we're
watching this video
giving them
have to the
access.
course.
Shit, there's gonna be no women left.
Oh no, my wife.
All women,
are bad. Proflation. Physical.
Well, you're jumping the gun, Matt.
At least Dr. Terabin is giving you this for free and then telling you that you can tip. All women are bad is nuts. How many times am I going to sit here and my entire comment is just, wow, that's insane. Oh my God, I'm Asmongold now. Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah. No, but like, some people just don't like, you know, like get that, yeah. No, I would agree. That's my Asmongold impression from the clips on Twitter that I've seen of him. Again, I'm just on Twitter. Like, if I'm anywhere and you're like, oh, Max is probably cheating on his girlfriend right now, it's just me scrolling through Twitter. Brain rotted. And then at like 11 p.m., I switched to TikTok. Eventually, we do get into the actual course.
What she was doing was putting her shoe back onto her foot, okay? That is a very big sign because now she's not soothed at all. She's a little uncomfortable and she's getting ready. She's preparing for if she has to flee, okay?
Yeah, I would assume women are fleeing from you. If I see somebody putting their shoes on and it's not to like immediately leave the house, I assume they're getting into a fight.
He's talking about signs that a woman's about to flee. So we haven't gotten there yet. But I'm excited for that chapter.
Couple videos in my car. I'm hoping that by the end of this video course that I won't be doing it in the car. But hey, you're used to me.
Spoiler alert, he left ahead and he never gets out of his car.
What it is. I might switch these out eventually. Might make much better like versions. You're always going to have access to it, especially if you are.
If I had to make videos in my car, if I didn't have somewhere to make videos, if I didn't have like a home or like a private space in that home to make videos, instead of making them in my car, brother, you could walk into most public universities, find a room that you can close the door of and just record. I feel like you'd sell a lot more courses sitting in like an office type setting than in your car being like, yeah, I get women. I bring them back to my car. I say, you want to work my stick shift? They go, oh my God. I go, no, I mean that literally. You need 2 hands to move this thing. This car is from 1964. I need help.
I kind of want you to visualize this giant stone like bowl, okay? Maybe it's like the size of the Grand Canyon. That's all your relationships. That's all your jacking off, all that, your porn habits, all this stuff. All the beliefs you've heard about
Put them in
relationships,
the bowl.
Every single ex that you've had, it's all in this huge pool. And the pool is just rancid, right? And the society really makes sure that most guys pool. In order to get to the place where I'm at currently, you need a little trickle to come out of that bowl, okay? And then it needs to cut through, and it needs to make a stream first, and then it'll make a river, and then it'll make
This is so
canyon,
stupid.
okay? And once
It would be so funny if his advice was to just stream. Like, you need a stream. Get on Twitch. Women love Twitch streamers.
Where do you think the car is, first of all? And second, why is his seatbelt on? He's not going anywhere.
I think everyone that has made a video about him has pointed out the seatbelt. That he's always like fastened. He's always like, safety first. Condoms unnecessary. Seatbelts, gotta make sure you don't get into an accident. Making one, not the worst thing. Have a little Alpha 1 Dom baby. Alpha 1.5 Dom.
rip it out, the belief that women are all bad or even Western women are all bad. That is incorrect.
Whoa!
The first time I've heard any one of those people say that. Because even the people that are like passport bros or like incel men type, when they consider that not all women are bad, they always say, but Western women are. Women in the US are terrible. They only want you for your money. And it's always like these people that don't have money. I hate how Western women think you need to respect them. They don't even know how to cook, bro. I'm out here making ramen. They're making me sad.
Plenty of men who are just like me that, well, maybe a little bit less than, because I go pretty hardcore into this, but that get as many women as they want. Other things. When you have this viewpoint that all women are bad, you are going to what's the best way for me to put it? The other reason why this is bad is because if you
What the fuck?
Where's that smoke coming from? You think that's his car? Do you think he's smoking something, or is that like his car?
believe that in your mind, if you believe
What happened?
The car's
We're not
she's going to feel that, right?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there we are.
It was like a magic trick. A puff of smoke just happened.
And this is one of the big things I'm scared about with my program is I'm going to teach so much psychology and so much power that some guy may possibly abuse it, and I'm worried about that. That's how powerful psychology and body language and facial expression and everything is, okay?
Cocky funny, how to use it. He's really got to stop acting like that's real grammar.
Well, that's what he calls it. He calls it.
He uses cocky funny.
Yeah, he's a cocky funny jutsu master. Yeah, we can
learn about hoflation.
Yeah, hoflation's important. We can learn about that.
This is like going to school.
Yeah, but for pussy.
To attract women and to keep women. That's just how we are, let's be honest, okay? It's one of the things that I had to work on because I get in a relationship, get really good, get really busy, and then I would distract, like I would switch my viewpoint on either one of the new girls that I was trying to train in my ranks, or I'd switch it to my business. It's about balance.
One of the new
And
girls I was
and
trying to
gotta
train in my
whether it's going to
ranks.
the gym,
What does that
whether it's building a
mean?
business, whether it's building, ranks like the girls that I have because I have multiple, or it's just one girl. You have to put effort. And that's what I always tell people. The issue is with the internet, with computers, with phones, a girl has a shit ton of options. So what happens is she'll meet somebody like your great grandfather, and then she'll meet a guy like me.
Your
and a guy like me is just
grandfather
going
in
to collect
quotes,
girls.
not really my great grandfather.
Okay? And once you're done with learning from me, you'll know what works too. So that's the big discrepancy. It's not that all women are bad. It's just that girls are looking for the best that they can get. And if you don't know how to attract a woman and you don't know how to create feelings, and I got to tell you, being able to do what I do,
Girls are not all bad. They're just trying to get the best that they can. And their two options are their great grandfather or me, who has multiple women. Shouldn't that mean that those like straight men who are so mad about not being able to find women should be mad at people like alphadom? Because you're taking all the women, bro. Population's 51 women, 49 men. Shouldn't those incels be mad at other men for taking all the women? And they call them chads.
outpaces money, outpaces looks, and everything else. Have a guy that teaches her how to make her own money and build something like a business or something like that, and the guy still has like connection and build attraction in her, then she will ever like a guy who just pays her shit. Okay?
Teach a woman to fish, and then she'll never go hungry. But then you can say that you don't want a woman who has to work.
Is there anyone out there, like I guess I'm not a huge hoflation conversationalist. Is there anyone out there that thinks, hey, to get a woman, I just keep giving her money forever?
The thing is, I think yes.
You think so?
The answer to that is yes.
But
But like this isn't new stuff. It's like
No.
if you just keep giving her money, she doesn't really love you.
I was gonna say,
Like,
this
who's that
feels
news
like
to?
a guy who realized girls like
Emotions
Emotion,
and
yeah,
love.
Like being attracted to
saying girls is
somebody.
even better. Like just people like emotions, and he's
Yeah.
starting to be like, I got a cheat code, guys.
I've got something
I
crazy,
told my girl she's beautiful.
and she smiled.
She liked that
She
more
liked
than me
that.
giving her a $20 bill.
I feel like
I was about to say that, like he found a woman. He was like, all right, I can either be nice to you or I can give you $20. Pick one. And he was surprised that they wanted someone who was nice to them and who cared about them. Damn, girl, I thought you only wanted me for my money. He didn't even have $20. He was just testing her. He wants to make sure that when he is rich, she isn't going to use him. Yeah, I don't have money now, girl. And I know we've been together for a while, but I'm going to be rich one day. And when I am, I don't want you to use me for the money. This is going to be a rough one to get through.
you said it like he's almost on this fence where you're like, come on, but like you're almost there.
Well,
you're
yeah.
almost getting it. Like
Also,
girls
I'm going to say it. This video wasn't about hoflation.
It wasn't.
That's
at
a
all.
misnomer.
I
You
think-
mentioned the word and then you just went off on a money tangent.
We've seen the smoke rising from his pants. This is all in the same sitting. He's just kind of ranting and then cut it into part. We paid I paid $197 for this.
Yeah.
They didn't get to see that. Charlie put it on my credit card, but I don't even know how.
That's hoflation.
That is hoflation. My great grandpa didn't have to worry about that.
Very clearly undergone red pill
I was gonna say, I
coaching.
feel
My grandfather had 10 kids. He didn't have to worry about this. He didn't have to go through Tinder and get 10,000 matches just to end up alone.
like he took other classes and was
Yes.
like, wait, this isn't working.
That's
Like,
exactly what happened.
and then he like got a girlfriend one time because he was a human being to her.
Yep.
And he's like, hang on, I know I know
get
how to
this.
actually do this.
I think he's so close to understand. I'll say what he says, that females which anytime somebody
I
calls
know,
all
that's
girls
always
females,
rough to hear.
He's almost there to understanding females are human beings.
Yeah, it's
Like,
close.
he's right
It's like
there,
on the
right there.
cusp.
Yeah, like he's so close, and I'm proud of him for almost getting there.
Yeah.
I give people the benefit of thinking that they're a lot smarter than they act. I think people are capable of understanding most of the time what they say and what they do. So when I look at people like alphadom, I don't think that he has these actual ideas, more so than I know he can monetize them. I think he's probably a lot smarter than he sounds and looks. Granted, does that mean he's smart? No, he's probably an idiot. I think he knows that he can monetize this, and so he plays into it more so than he actually thinks and acts this way. It's probably because if he did act this way, it would not work. Like, there's nothing about him that says this would work. He's not like charismatic. He's not overly confident. Like, he has to record this in his car, right? He's probably afraid of anyone else hearing him say this. Like, he's a guy who knows that he can monetize other men who are like him because he may have gotten a girlfriend. And again, I don't spend a lot of my time talking about the way people look, but hairline is not doing great. The shirt is not at all like ironed out, which if I was going to make content like this where I wanted people to think and act and look like me, I would consider that. And then his nails, which you don't see now, his nails are just so far overgrown, which for me, it's just like if my nails start growing, I'm biting them. So that's a problem. But I don't know that I would let them grow out for any real reason. Like, he's not the guy he says he is, but he can monetize it. And I think he's probably smart enough to just do that.
As far as $197 courses go, could have been worse. Could have been worse.
And we're only
The girl of your dreams is rare. Nope, it's
The seatbelt gets me every time.
not. The girl of your dreams is not rare, and here's why. There are plenty, and I mean plenty. I mean like literal metric shit tons, and they're tilted off center or off orbit, and they're not quite right, but they're good girls inside. They just need to enter a frame that's correct, and then they immediately fix. And that's most girls. Sorry to let you know. Here's the thing. Most girls like being disciplined, being corrected, and like being put in their place. I will tell you that just right now. And maybe it'll just
If I was friends with this guy and I found this and I knew this wasn't how he thought, but this is the job that he wanted to make for himself, oh, immediately I'd go over and just beat him up. We're not friends anymore. And then after someone bails me out, I'm just like, yeah, that dude's a weirdo. Even if it's fake, it's still way too weird for me.
it'll be on NBC one day where they're crying and saying I'm abusive and taking it out of context. But that is the reality. That's what girls like. And when they enter your frame and they step out of it, or they shit test you, or they get really super disrespectful, and you snap them back into line, whether it's something like, hey, if you do that again, I'm done with you, or I won't put up with that. Or
Dude,
bend them over
let's
your knees
pause
and
real
then
quick.
smack 'em-
I feel like
there's a lot to dissect
yeah,
here.
I feel like he goes through these episodes. So like when he was in the smoking car with button down homecoming gown, he was more relaxed. Like women like love
Yep.
and being treated like people, and here he's like, women like to be put in their place.
This morning he woke up to find out one of his 7 girlfriends left.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Well, no, she exited his frame.
right.
Oh, the
Did
frame.
we miss the part where
No,
he described
that's-
what a frame is?
I was about to say, there's a lot of stuff. He's talking about shit testing and entering frames. That's in the blue lesson.
And different versions, right? There's different versions of a guy having his shit together. For me, I don't go to the gym, so I'm not saying all guys shouldn't go to the gym, but a guy that understands attraction
Okay,
and
hang
goes
on.
to
You're
the
talking
gym
about the seatbelt.
has his shit together.
It's also
He's like the one singular alpha male who's like, yeah, I don't go to the gym. Like, I don't need to lift weights. I lift women's spirits. I make them feel good about themselves by making them feel bad first. You got to break them down to build them up.
So here's the thing.
so he slid his chair all the way back to do this.
I was gonna say he put it into like business mode. So I feel like you could have just taken the seatbelt off too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why? Why is it?
Also, we're
Clipped
entering
in.
the section where he's
What if he has a real reason for the seatbelt? What if he keeps his seatbelt on because he got rear-ended one day sitting in a parking lot and now it's like a fear of his?
When you're this psychologically powerful, he's like
that's true.
he's Professor X a pussy. Like this guy, he's like in the female
he's
mind.
worked out his brain.
Yeah.
You
No,
don't
because
need
he's all
drama.
about being different, and all
Right.
the other guys go to the gym.
You have your emotional control. Girls kick and poke you and hit your buttons and shit test you, and you're just a silly little brat. Like that, to most of the things that they do, you stand out. You're a rarity. Because
Oh
most
wow,
guys
I'm getting a call. Spam risk.
Also, like, I don't know. I've never been in a relationship where a woman's like entire sense of humor is sitting there literally poking me or trying to make me angry. That just seems Weird. Dude was scared to film at home because he didn't want his mom to hear is exactly what I'm thinking. Also, I don't think I need to shout out Charlie, but we are using his videos. So if you like his kind of content, which is usually just like him talking about what he saw on Twitter today, I would consider following the man. They're usually short videos just packed with jokes. I don't watch too many of them, but they're relatable. Like, this is all stuff that I've also seen on Twitter. Like the Babadoobie thing where she got mad about all the memes about her and NBA Youngboy. How fertile I am is wild. Some of these are definitely like boys will be boys type of videos. Like, can you freeze a fart? Not something I've ever thought about. But I also don't have any, like, I don't have straight male friends, I think. I can't name any. The closest I get is Peter. You're telling me this man counts? Absolutely not. He makes Pokemon content.
How
Wait.
nice guys are bad.
Age.
Oh, this is important.
This is gonna be like optimal. Oh my god.
Is that even him?
Please just do not drop a woman peak at 18 like 40-year-old Dr. Terabin, dude.
He flipped the camera because he's on the other side now.
From my angle, he looks like Paul Giamatti.
He looks like he's learning how to make YouTube thumbnails, and he just learned how to like make his shirt one color and pop out like Mr. Beast.
It's like a Papa John jump scare. I really
Oh,
want
that's
to see
really
Nice
good.
Guy.
All right,
Yeah,
Just
we can watch Nice Guy.
Just briefly.
Oh,
And look
God,
how
we're in a different outfit.
look how nice he looks.
He does look like a nice guy.
That's a nice guy.
Like, he does look like a nice guy.
All right, I'm changing speed.
He looks like he's sitting at a golf course, and if you get him drunk enough, he's gonna start yelling slurs.
That maybe it's only the colored hair that gives you the sense that they might be unstable. But if you behave the way I do, you bust their balls, you're cocky, but you also have a mixture of funny in there. You fucking don't give a fuck about them shit testing you. You push it right back and give it right back to them and put them in their place. That is going to be a world different than the guy that's constantly nice and saying sorry or like, oh, I didn't mean to offend you. I'm almost borderline rude when I talk to girls, and girls fucking love it.
I don't believe that.
Where
I don't
guys
believe that.
constantly cater, bend, and simp to them. And there is a giant chunk of their female mind that says this is not how it's supposed to be. You ever hear girls talk with each other where they talk about how a guy, oh, he's nice, well, he buys me things, and he takes me out to dinner. He's like,
You have never heard a conversation between two women. I refuse to believe that this man has ever been in a room with multiple women at once where they know that he is there. Absolutely not.
I mean, he's like a friend. That thing, that the friend zone, but it's even worse because she's off talking to her girlfriends about you instead of talking about how pathetic you are, but she's trying to be nice about it. Girls don't do that about me. Girls, when they have
When you talk about your friends, do you call them pathetic? I don't think I ever have, but sure, dude. Yeah. If that's how women have talked about you historically, that must suck.
They just don't talk about him in general. So much better.
Right back. He'll bust my balls. He'll fucking pick and make fun of me. He doesn't give a fuck. Does the average guy know how to have multiple girls and hold them for years and years while collecting more? Yes, I said collecting. And my girls are all perfectly
Like
fine
they're
with me using that
Pokemon?
term. So, are there guys that can pull off what I pull off? No.
I want him to do one of these with all of his girls in the car with him.
I do
Because I
too.
want to
So-
see their reaction
Interestingly enough,
to the words that he is saying. out loud.
he did a video to prove the haters wrong that he has kissed a girl before. In fact, he even pinned it. Watch this. So this first section was all about limiting beliefs. And I was actually very surprised because the way he talks on TikTok is very different than his courses. So he was saying, like, thinking all women are bad isn't good. And hoflation isn't real. And then in the same breath, in the same section, he would still talk about like how you need to put women in their place and discipline them and don't let them into your frame. And then he would also like make it like these huge eureka moments where, you know, women like talking about emotions, so we should listen to that sometimes. And then also still like be like, and then we have to put her in her place. So he kind of like teetered on this edge of almost understanding that women are human, but he'd get close. He'd like poke at it a little bit, tickle it, like these female creatures, they're almost like us. They're almost, you know, sentient beings that like to talk and like to communicate with us, and sometimes it's worth to listen.
There's a bit of me that feels so sad for the people that have to go through stuff like this, or the people that fall for it, rather. It must suck to be so uncomfortable in possibly asking people that you're attracted to how they would like you to be, and to have to try and mold yourself around people like this. The audience for people like alphadom isn't other 30-year-old men who are in the dating world. For the most part, it's going to be people who are 15, 16, 17, trying to like date for the first time and finding him on TikTok, going, oh, okay, yeah, this is how women think. Oh, I'm being too nice. Oh, I'm treating them like people when I should be treating them like Pokemon instead. That's a Caterpie. That's a Pikachu. That's a Pidgeotto. That's a Cyndaquil. That's a Tauros. That's a Staryu? Krabby. That's a Krabby. I was trying to only name Pokemon that Ash had in the anime. I don't think he had a Staryu. I think that was just Misty. I don't know how much of this video is going to end up getting cut out. We're 17 minutes into Charlie's video. I've been recording for just under an hour. I'm at 52 minutes. So there's been a lot of me yapping, but I don't know how much of that is going to end up coming through.
He's big on putting women in their places. His resolution, like, all right, come over my knee. I'm curious.
Let's listen to conflict resolution.
So we're telling that for active listening. The one that I had a lesson about this, right? Listen attentively to your partner's perspective, show that you value their viewpoint by actively engaging in the conversation. You know that one. I had a whole lesson on it. But it ties in here, so that's why it's here too. Number 5, avoid the blame game, okay? I talked about it a little bit in the last lesson. Focus on
I'll
what you
say
understand
it.
rather than
Yeah,
placing
This
burden.
isn't bad.
This is very normal.
Bad advice.
Very normal way to handle things.
Now, what does he say
Frame
for
the
the next
conversation
15 minutes?
Very normal. Yeah, listen and try not to blame each other. Not really $200 worth of advice.
Yeah. How does it go for 15 minutes? Because this is like
way ahead.
Because this is very normal, solid stuff.
Childhood on, we're taught to lie with our faces, okay? So there's a reason why the face is not the most truthful one. That being said,
Is his Samsung shirt a work shirt? There's no way you have a random t-shirt that just has Samsung on it. Is there like a Samsung store? Yeah, there's Samsung stores in the mall. I wonder if he works at a Samsung store and he just records in the parking lot or like the mall parking lot.
hey, nobody's taught you to lie with your legs and feet. Things like stress, fear, happiness.
They said
joy.
it too. They said it too.
That being said, hey, nobody's taught you to lie with your legs and feet. Things like
Yeah.
stress, fear, happiness, joy.
Because again, that's so weird. That's not like a shirt that you have, right? Unless you bought it from like Goodwill or somewhere where someone who did work there donated it. That feels like a work shirt.
Nervousness, subservience, awkwardness, confidence. It can all show from your feet, right? Your feet and your legs, okay? Even anger, you think, right?
So he's talking about how all of your emotions, deceit, anger, and everything show in your feet. Thoughts?
I've never looked for them there, so I can't disprove that.
Yeah, I guess in his defense, I cannot say no.
It's so true, you're right.
I've never tried to see if that's right.
He
so.
could be really correct.
Yeah. I feel like we got a lot out of this course, and we've
my bowl is there's a crack in the bottom. It's starting to flow.
Yeah.
It's starting to flow.
Oh, I can tell.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm gonna walk into my house. Monique's feet are gonna be like crossed. And I'm gonna be like, "Fuck,
Shit! I'm a bad husband.
damn it! I gave you too much money." Get your dad on the horn.
Fucking hoflation!
Okay, wait. The last thing we have to watch is something about cocky funny.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, they never went through cocky funny.
The saddest truth ever. I remember.
So up until this point, we haven't like gotten anything that's too deep, too personal, too, oh, you're only going to get this through this course. He's just another dude who is going to sensationalize his ideas on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, on Instagram to get you to come into his course that's just pretty generic. It's not anything special. He's just giving advice that he may have heard somewhere else or thought that he thought of himself. Hey, listen to your partner. The advice doesn't feel like it's thought out at all. It feels like he has an idea and then just rants about it. Hey, listen to your partner. Hey, remember not to treat women like people. Hey, remember that if you're in your car, regardless of whether the car's on or not, you should have your seatbelt on. I think, honestly, I'm going to be so real. I think the seatbelt thing is because if somebody walks by, he wants them to think that he's like getting out of the car, right? And so his seatbelt is still on instead of just like sitting in his car doing something. And there's probably a lot of like shame and a lot of like awkward in the way that he feels, which is why he records in his car and not in his house with roommates, parents, ex-girlfriend around. Like if he doesn't want to record in his house because he lives with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's ex-husband and their kids, I'm not going to judge him for that.
I remember when I was 18 and I said I want multiple women and not to use money to build it. I was told I was insane. Now it's like the fucking Uber story. They said you couldn't do it. That's the logistics are
You can't
crazy.
build a harem of women without money.
Oh my God, 10 years from now I will be the most known and the best dating coach on the planet. Reality is clay in my hand and I build what my mind sees. Most people can't do it.
He's like the Warhammer orcs.
He is like a Warhammer
It's
orc.
like the Warhammer or why is that changed so drastically? I help 6 and 7 figure business owners with dating. No, you
Well,
don't.
because those are the ones who can afford his course.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense then.
There's another thing. And
Am I gonna have to watch an hour-long YouTube video of him and his girlfriend? That sucks. Okay. Well, congrats. You're stuck with me for that.
these are all, I really want to interview him. He talks so much about, if you're a guy like me who grows businesses, are you growing a single business outside of this dating course?
Yes,
All right.
all of them.
Every
Over
business.
1,000 women, where do they all rank?
That's
It's like a
nuts.
1,000-person tier list. That would be
That'd be incredible.
That's a lot. How do you rank the different ethnicities as far as dating?
He's ranking
Let's go into
ethnicities.
it.
Oh, that's.
Wait, is he actually?
That's what he said. He said, "How do you rank all the different ethnicities?"
That's wild.
For what?
Western culture, white women.
So he said the god.
The worst tier is Western culture white women. Oh, that's my girlfriend, bro. The worst tier is women who do not need you for your money. The worst tier is women who are gonna want you before they need you. The worst tier is people who think for themselves. The worst tier is people you cannot readily take advantage of. The worst tier is women. As a straight man, there's nothing gayer than dating women. As a straight man, you should be trying to date other men. Which is, honestly, I'm being so real, I think that's where it ends. Like, all these straight men alpha dating coaches hate women so much, they should just date each other. Like, do you know how alluring, how enticing that has to be to these people? Imagine hanging out with your bros, dude, and one of you's like, huh, what's that doing out? And your bro just like, don't worry about it, bro. I'm gonna give you a hand. All it takes is a couple of beers. And it's a Shane Gillis bit from SNL the other day. Like, they have to love that idea. Why don't they just do it? There's like that one Andrew Tate clip where he talks about how gross vaginas are. You're already hanging out with your bros all day, dude. Kiss them. Like, these people don't like women. And I say this as like a generic straight man. If you don't like women, dude, that's okay. The only other people who are going to judge you in your circle are other straight men who don't like women. Kiss each other. At least he's not recording this in his car anymore.
Off enough, and then you will literally become
should watch his
racist.
own
I've shown
course
it a
about
million
how
fucking
real
times on my
shit.
TikTok.
He should
In the
watch
second
every
to the
video.
bottom tier, it's going to be African American women. Sorry, that's where you girls are at.
What?
First off,
He just gave a whole thing about race. And he was like, you can't listen to white women, otherwise you're going to become racist. Anyway, second worst people, black women.
I know you're in America, and I know eating is a thing here, but please, for the love of God, your ancestors were rails like me, training with blades for longer than I can fucking remember, and I've survived 3 knife attacks and
What?
a fucking gunshot because of my expertise in knives.
Just pause
You
real
gotta
quick.
fucking calm down, like you gotta fuck.
This is upsetting.
What the fuck happened?
I don't like black women. By the way, I've survived 3 knife attacks because of my expertise in knives and a gunshot. Oh man, I want to see this man and 50 Cent in a one-on-one fight.
AKA somebody who has dated multiple, was even married to a Mexican. So, I mean, she was an albino. She was a rare breed. She was an albino.
I was just letting the rest of this play because like it's not going to end up in the video, but
AKA somebody who has dated multiple, was even married to a Mexican. So,
someone who has dated Mexicans is nuts. That applies to every person I've been with. Surprise, I was Mexican this whole time.
It was a sad conclusion because there was some kind of deterioration of his brain that happened over the course of 2 years. Because his video seminars that you paid $200 to access are very different than the current specimen you see absolutely blabbering nonsense on TikTok and YouTube shorts. Because right now his big thing is about being the big ticket alpha male and like ranking the ethnicities of the imaginary women he's dated over the course of his life. And his courses, he actually does talk about normal stuff sometimes. Whereas when we were going through like his modern TikToks and YouTube shorts, none of that DNA is there anymore. At least not from any of the ones that we saw or found. It almost feels satirical to a certain extent, but he does it earnestly. So like that whole discussion that he talked about with his mastery of the blade, that is the epitome of the Reddit fedora wearing meme. The Discord moderator, Discord super shinobi, that kind of thing. like, he embodies that, and he unironically discusses shit like that. Because we did a bit of a deep dive to see if he was making like a joke, if he's just playing a character. He's not. This is him. Now, I would be very curious, as with Danny and Matt, to see what he's like in real life. Because I get the feeling he is just jumping from trend to trend, because 2 years ago, these pickup artist guru courses were flying off the fucking shelves like it was the sequel to the Bible. People were desperate and purchasing these things. Now, not so much, so he's pivoted into doing kind of like almost rage-baity content for TikTok and YouTube to, like, I guess, put on this front of being like, yeah, women are so easy to fuck, and that's kind of like all they're good for. I got like so many fucking women, I collected my Pokemon cards. Like, that's his
I said Pokemon, but we kind of got to the same place.
new thing. So, as Matt and Danny said, we'd really love to, like, have a day in the life of alphadom. Would love to see the master at work, because he talks about how
I would love to have a day in the life of alphadom. And he's like, yeah, just make sure it's a day I don't work. Nothing wrong with working at Samsung anywhere, really. Like, you go do your job. It's just funny to be like this alpha male person who's like, yeah, I get women all the time. I have so many phone numbers, but it's just through work.
easy it is for him to just collect women and put them into his ranks. Supposedly, as current 7 women currently, would love to have the keys to the kingdom, have access to that harem, and interview them to see what they say about this whole ordeal. But the last time I proposed this, he said that I need to sign an NDA or some shit. I'm foggy in all the details because it's been almost a year, which is still the dumbest thing, to sign an NDA with alphadom where I won't talk about the women I see him having, which almost sounds like a criminal enterprise, like he's locking them up as prisoners of war. But you know what? This time around, we'll all sign the NDA. Let's see an action, Dom. I am so fucking curious. I can't promise I'll be, stay true to the NDA, because I would love to be able to discuss the things that we learn, but we'll at least toy around with the notion of your stupid fucking NDA. So anyway, $200 down the shitter for sure on this experience, but had to know what it was like. I haven't actually purchased one of these courses from these goofballs, and now that I have, it's been pretty eye-opening stuff. Like, the course, a lot of it was just him saying normal things sprinkled in with brief moments of insanity and lunacy, but it wasn't egregious, not like he, in his current state, his final evolution here, his digivolution. Like, back in the courses, he was a lot more normal than he is now. So it wasn't even like the worst advice in the world, especially when it comes to like conflict resolution. Like, the way he talked about it, for the most part, was pretty solid. I don't know what the fuck has happened to him. That'd be something very interesting to explore. But anyway, yeah, overall, not worth $200 at all, by any means. That's about it. See ya.
I think the whole like change that they saw between 2 years ago, kind of normalish advice, to now, could probably be attributed to he got a lot of attention, right? He did go viral for the whole like no doesn't mean no thing, and then it died down very quickly. And I think Ludwig talked about this once, where he said sometimes people aren't ready for the attention. When he or one of his like big friends rate out on Twitch to someone who's a lot smaller, let's say he has 20,000 viewers, rating it to someone who has a couple of hundred, a lot of people don't stick around because the new streamer will not have the experience to be able to like keep them around, or won't be as polished, or when they go to their YouTube channel, they won't have like a backlog of videos for people to like engage with and get to know. And so when you go viral for something and you're not actually interesting and you don't have more content that people like, you have one video that goes viral and then people just don't follow up. There was a lot of following up with him because of how many people made videos about him, because of how many people made fun of him, but there was no one agreeing with him and people weren't mass following him. He did go from 1,000 or 2,000 followers to like a little over 10K on TikTok, but it was the same thing as the Tad to Dad situation where people just wanted updates. They didn't actually care about what he had to say. So I think taking this person who got an influx of attention for what he thought was him rather than people making fun of him, and then immediately losing it all because people are uninterested, that sucks. And you have to double down on who it is that you think you are in order to try to keep that attention. So, hey, no, don't leave. Come back. Actually, all women are bad is probably what happened there. But I don't know. And I probably won't ever know. That's alphadom. And I wish I was making this type of content a year ago so that I had my own video on him to reference a little more. Maybe we'll do it anyway. I have no idea how long this video is going to be because I've been recording for about an hour and a half, but I know that I'm not going to leave like a ton of my random yapping or like Charlie's video in this. If you're not following Charlie and you like that type of content, it's like a little, here's what's happening on the internet today, twice a day. Consider videos like this. I don't think are made for the audience that I have. Most of the people here, from what I've gotten from the comments and my demographic overview, most of the people here are not single men. So I don't think that me sitting here and being like, hey, this is who you should be is going to reach the right people. Like there's not enough, like there's nobody going through me to try and learn how to pick up women or how to be respectful towards them. If you are of that age, young man, impressionable, don't know how to speak to women, but would like to, consider that these online gurus are probably not who you want for anything. The people who rent cars to try and sell you a lifestyle, the people who make 90% of their money selling Forex courses, trying to sell you a Forex course isn't going to teach you how to trade. That's not how they make their money. They make their money selling a course. There's plenty of good advice out there for free, and you don't have to pay for it to try and become someone who you think is the right person to be. Women don't like men like him. Young impressionable men may, but women don't. And so do you want to be someone that young impressionable men like, or do you want to be someone that women like if you're a straight man looking for a relationship with a straight woman? I think that's probably the biggest piece of advice here is you should try and take advice from the people you either want to impress or people who have shown evidence of being the people you would like to be like. If you want to be the person who has 7 women, sure, I don't get it, but sure. Maybe take advice from someone who can show you the women that they're with and not just one once. I'm going to call it here and I'm going to go figure out how this video is going to look. Thank you all for spending time with me. I hope that picture of Toast was enough for a little while. We'll have her back in like a week, which is both like great and also like sad. Last night, Lee and I went to go eat. I gave the server my card, right? And she was like running it through her little Toast thing. I don't know why they're called that, little Toast card readers, but she was running it and she was asking me about my day. I was on my phone and I went, this is a 1 day a week I'm allowed outside. And she starts laughing real good. And after she stops laughing, after like a solid 20 seconds, she goes, it was really funny how you said that so serious. And I was like, oh, I am serious. Everyone in the comments is going, do we need Lee to blink twice because of all the 90 Day Fiance you made her watch? But what about me? What if I have to blink twice? Why am I like not a top 5 most popular person on my own YouTube channel? It's Toast, it's Lee, it's that Junimo Krobis, this unnamed Junimo Wekoko, me Matt probably. Anyway, I love Lee very much and she loves me very much. And this is going very well. I love spending time here. I love being around her. She's not making me say this. Okay, go. Get out of here. Go.